Okay. Let me see. And we are live. Hello out there in YouTube land. I'm running kind of like a little bit of a special news break tonight. And I think that this needs to be addressed. And it was brought to my attention by Miss Lake Ferry, I think a couple of days ago. And it's really disturbing and it's scary and you really want to think about it. So I'm kind of gonna say hello to chat, and then I'm gonna give it over to Lake Ferry and let her go with it after I get through dying here. Hello, Dana B. Charman, Ted Bly, if I pronounced that right.
Tubla.
Okay.
Ted Blah. Okay, yeah. Ted Blah.
I was close. Sniffer and my man, Dig Deeper Ministry. He's got a good show on Sundays at 11 o'clock. We got Miss Vicky. And let me see. What Life? Hello, sir. And I thought I saw Bushcraft up in here.
I hope so. Why isn't he up here?
We got Sissy May. I thought I'd give him a rest tonight.
Yeah, he needs a good rest.
Yeah. Shanoa. And if I skipped anybody, Ginger Ninja, I'm kind of sorry. I don't know how long this is going to last. It may last 30 minutes. It may last an hour and a half. I don't know. It could go all night. I seriously doubt that. But if you want to, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Okay, just don't make me beg. Goodness. Like you're going to turn it over to me like right now when I don't have my stuff ready.
Okay.
I'm just messing with you. I am. I'm just messing with you. Hello, everyone. So on the 22nd, Pennsylvania come out and started talking about how their water supply facility was hacked by. Now, how are you with words, Jeff?
Word it. That was hacked. Plain simple.
So it was an Iran-linked hacking group that is actively targeting and compromising multiple, not just Pennsylvania, multiple U.S. facilities for using an Israeli-made computer system. And it's really concerning because our United States isn't putting it out publicly, the 10 plus places that have been affected by this. So there's that. So the CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, said on Friday, now mind you, this happened on the 22nd. They didn't talk about it was reported on the 25th. And then just this past Friday, they went out with this. On Friday, they did say that the hackers known as Cyber Avengers. Now, Avengers is AV, the letter 3, NGERS. And they've been trying to do things here and around the world since 2019 that we caught wind of. I believe it was 2016 when they really made themselves known. And when I say that they like to make themselves known, they do. Because also, while they're being hacked, they actually blatantly tell you on a computer screen that you have been hacked, and it says down with Israel. And they don't mean that in a good way. They put that threat up on the screen. Yep. Anything else, Jeff? I got more, but
Well, it's kind of like we was talking about. This is scary. The only thing I can really say is stock up for a while. I mean, well, truthfully, Walmart's about the only place I know that sells like the 5 gallon jugs of water. I would start stocking up on that
that's what they do.
quick.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
they're usually like here, they're either clear or you can get them blue. And they're the big ones that go on top of a water cooler.
yeah.
But you can open that up and you can lift that to pour it out.
Now they also have pumps that you can stick down in the top.
Yeah.
If you're really not able to lift one,
Right.
just get you a pump and sit down on top. I'm not sure how much they cost. And I'm not talking, I guess they got battery operated pumps and regular manual pumps. But get what suits you. I'll put it like that.
Yeah.
For the time being. Okay, Bushcraft says they cost about $12. Thank you, Bushcraft.
So the systems that are being compromised, it's a computer called Unitronics, and it's Israeli made. So that's where they've hacked in. Each water place and or other places, and we can get to that after, if Jeff, if you don't mind or want to. It's 10 inches of what has been compromised, because it doesn't actually specify 10 inches of where. And Jeff, you had a question about that, like the 10 inches of, like, is it the top, the bottom, is it the pipe?
Okay, yeah. Okay, because I'm thinking like this: in a tank of water, they're going to be draining it from the bottom side, gravity fed. And I was wondering, did it settle 10 inches to the bottom, or was it settle 10 inches on top? So when they add more water to it, it would get mixed in with the whole tank right there, like that. Bushcraft, I went ahead and sent you invite, because I'm pretty sure you can come up with some more questions and got a little bit more input also.
So they also have a response put into cyber concerns. This has also happened in Israel too. Not just us, but in Israel. So they gave themselves a new emergency wartime powers, which allows the government to step in if a company that specifically deals with the cloud storage and digital services get hacked. So that just got that. This is what concerns me. So through this, with the Israeli authorities, recently gave themselves new emergency wartime powers, which allows the government to step in if a company that specifically deals with the cloud storage and digital services get hacked. We don't want them in control of our water systems.
No. Even though we doing decent right now, we don't want a company like it to come in and take over, but so far what you're saying just the U.S. and Israel are the only two countries that's been hacked so far that we know of.
Other places around the world, but nothing has been specified.
Okay, okay. I know I asked you earlier what was the largest water facility that we had in the States, and you said there was quite a few of them.
Right.
But,
Yeah, I know Michigan was one of them, which actually surprised me, especially with when, that whole thing with Flint happened.
right.
That was a bit concerning. I think there's Chicago, and the article I brought up about the clean water investment in infrastructures, it's quite the article. And Bigfoot did say that it is in Detroit, in Michigan.
Ooh.
And then there's another water purification plant in Chicago that does 1.4 billion gallons per day. Let's see, Lake Michigan. Those are your two biggest.
Okay. If y'all or anybody is up in that area, I would highly suggest go ahead and start stocking. Get you some of those pills that help purify the water. Now, I've seen a lot of advertisement where people go to a mud puddle, get water, drop the pills in, they start drinking. Then again, I know commercials and advertisement is not always what they seem to be also. I don't know something like this, if boiling the water before you drink it would be
If you have a way to test for nitrates first, water definitely should be boiled. But if you have high nitrates in your water, by boiling those nitrates, you are going to have some seriously dangerous levels at that point. Because when you boil nitrate, water that has nitrates in it, it actually raises the nitrate levels. And that has to be filtered 2, 3, even more times to lower that down to under 12. Your nitrate level for any drinking water that you get from a town or a city has to be under 12. I would definitely suggest buying testers of various things. Go to your water department, ask them what they suggest for well water and for town city water. Go into your water department.
What about that?
So, Jeff, did you know I learned today that so the CISA and Unitronics Vision series, the programmable, I can't even talk tonight. Programmable, yes, thank you. Logic controllers. They're predominantly used in the U.S. for water, wastewater systems. Companies in energy, food, and beverage manufacturing, and healthcare are also under threat. Cyber attacks on hospitals should also be considered a regional disaster, researchers have found. That is through the CISA. Yeah.
Like I said, it's scary. If you really break it down and get into it, it can be anywhere here in the States that can be hacked if they're online with a computer.
Yeah.
And we got one in here from Chicago area right now. I'm just going to say Sam. But just go ahead and I can't say it enough. Go ahead and start stocking up now. Y'all should have been stocked locked up, to be truthful about it.
Yeah, it's the
You
number
know,
one of the number one things. I mean, you
yeah,
can't go without water for more than 3 days.
that's right.
Yeah.
You know, that's number one thing right there is water. You may, I didn't do it. You can probably sit here and say, I don't drink water. You know, I do. Well,
What?
coffee, tea, other liquids. You got to have water to make it. So without the water, you got no coffee, you got no tea or anything else.
Right, right.
And you hear a lot of people say, you know, a gallon a day per person. Uh, I've said here for a good while, you know, 2 gallons a day per person. But you sit there and you think of how much water your household goes through because you wash your clothes, uh, you wash dishes, you know, you take showers, you take baths, but when it comes down to it, you're going to be taking a sink bath.
Right. And like Grace Johnson just put something very important. Many of us do have pets or even homesteads or farms. You got to think
Yes,
about every single animal that you have and make sure that they have enough water. And Bushcraft, of course, pointed out that we can't go 3 minutes without air either.
true. Very true.
So
But
they're now tracking, Jeff, to 150 such groups that 20 or 30 or 40 that were actually they're calling them hacktivists, groups that are joining this Avengers thing right now, trying to do this particular thing.
did you say 120?
150 such groups. So it's
Oh,
groups. But right now, they know between 20, this is the way it's written, 20 or 30 or 40 groups. Groups. We don't know how many people is that per group? We don't know.
you
So,
know, you start multiplying like that right there.
yeah.
That just went beyond scary.
And where are these people? Where are they
It,
all sanctioned?
well, it goes back to me saying a way while back ago, as rich and as strong as a country is, such as ours, the way to the heck with it, the way to take it over is from within. So therefore, coming up from the south, how many of them are by profession or chemist that can do stuff like this?
Right.
You know, and it will not surprise me. Matter of fact, I can just about guarantee you that we've got some sleepers up
Yeah.
in here.
Well, that's
How,
another thing that they've done. They've gone and asked certain people in government if they can take these places offline because obviously the passwords aren't secure enough.
mm-mm.
The our our cybersecurity is not safe, and they haven't gotten word from our administration on that yet, and it's been several days.
Well, now Dana B said they got money in new phones when they come over. You know, which I'll agree to that, and I'll probably end up going off topic here. But when illegals, and I want that word to stick out big time, illegals, when they get about $3,000, you know, a month, and let's say our veterans who fought, gave their life for this country don't even hardly get $1,000 a month, and they're out on the streets.
Yeah.
Something's got to change.
That's wrong. Yeah.
Big time. It has to change. And I've always been the number one in saying, we voted for them. This is what we get for voting for the wrong people. I have yet to seen a politician, except for one, that said they will do what they said they was going to do in their campaign to be voted in. That's it. And how is it that a person the first year in office makes, I'm going to say, for example, $700,000 a year, but yet in 3 years they've got $2 or $3 million mansions and everything? How's that? That ain't right either. I mean, we know what's going on, and we cannot come straight out and say it, or the creator will get booted quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, it's got to change. It needs to change, and we've got election coming up here, next year? No.
November, next November. Well,
Yeah, November.
November. Yeah. Is that one about 11 months or so? Yeah.
And, I mean, the one we got in there now is done ran our country in the ground already. Just think what he can do within another year. Oh, did that do it?
What? Did what do it?
Okay. I thought I got taken down.
No.
I'm still here.
It's about 24 after. And Jeff and I were talking about this the other day. It was pretty funny how we both thought the same thing about a certain animal city. Yeah.
Go ahead and say it. It's like this right here. It comes, the name of this city comes from one certain movie, Resident Evil.
It was a game, and then, a movie.
Yeah.
And it was a game, and I think it was even a series. I didn't watch the series. I played the game and then watched the movie.
Yeah, I did too. I watched all of them. And they're pretty good. But the name of this city in Resident Evil is called Raccoon City. I'm going to say it. But the name in Pennsylvania, I can't think of the second one, but it's also called Raccoon.
Raccoon City.
Yeah.
And in Resident Evil, the city's water supply that was provided by a dam which infected rodents passed through while migrating out of their city sewers habitat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I can say a little bit more up on my channel than I can other channels. If I get taken down, I get taken down. But I'm kind of like some creators, okay? I want the truth to get out there, but I want to kind of be careful of how I do it a little bit. Because
if Bigfoot says something off camera, he's over there. Is that okay, Jeff, or no?
That's fine. I got no problem with that.
Okay. Hey, Jeff, I just wanted to give everybody in chat some advice. Just a tip.
Okay.
When it comes, because Berkey water filters are very popular and they're very good.
They're hard to get.
And they're very expensive. But if you go on the Berkey website, they have a section that you can find on there that's called the scratch and dent section. you can get on the wait list, and when they have a product that's returned or scratched or dented, that they can't sell for total resale value, you can get a big markdown on that. We did it, and we got one at a discount.
Really?
That's
So
how we got
I
ours.
thought this would be important on the discussion on water. So
Right, right.
there you go.
And there's some people saying that Berkey's and their filters aren't good. I can assure you that this is how I have filtered water since I was little. And that's how we keep our fish tanks pristine and not stinking. And we have test kits, and they test just fine.
Well, now, correct me if I'm wrong on this right here. Depending on what you are testing for, it's going to come up good or bad. Okay, some areas is prone to one thing, other areas is prone to something else. You just got to know what you're going to be testing for and get this get a certain type of kit. Now my water down here, it's iron big time. Okay. And I hate to say it, but I have to clean my go mode about once a week down here. To where when I lived in the city, twice a month, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
On account of the iron in here, in the water. But just know what chemicals you're looking for and make sure that test kit covers those chemicals.
B. Charming's mentioning reverse osmosis. It is very good. However, anything that you distilling water, anything that you're using a reverse osmosis, you got to be careful how you're doing that, because if you're stripping your water of all of its minerals, now we're thinking short term. If you go long term and use things like an RO, which we have, if you use things like a distiller for your distilled for water, you're going to be lacking in a lot of vitamins that are essential and important to your body's makeup. And now you're going to have to get into what minerals you are going to have to put back in to replace what you're not getting from the water.
Well, now, wasn't it, I'm going to say about 3 years ago, and I want to say the state of Georgia, but wasn't there something about the water supply? Well, I ain't going to say water supply. I'm going to say some type of chemicals in the septic water down in there, that area. But I mean, and I will say this right here, okay? And it's going to make quite a few people sick. You probably end up puking.
Oh, don't you? Let me get another sip of my coffee then.
Okay, I think you know where I'm going with this one. There is some, I don't want to say cities, but some areas, they are taking, I'm going to call it brown water. They are recycling it, filtering it out, and that's what you're drinking, believe it or not. Now, if you do not believe what I'm saying to that, why don't you talk to a sailor who is on submarines? They'll tell you. So, I mean, if you got a good filtration system, yeah, and I'm right there along with you. I'm not doing this.
Bushcraft.
Really? Every major city, huh? Well, if that ain't for giggles and the other one.
So our reverse osmosis thing that we have, you hook it up to the sink, and there's a drip tube that we put out the window, or I guess you can put it down the sink or your toilet or whatever. It has 3 different, I call them big, like reservoir tubes in it.
Yep.
For drinking water, we wouldn't use that 3rd tube. That 3rd tube we would only use if we were filtering for the fish tanks.
Well, now,
Some
somebody,
of those reverse osmosis can get really, really expensive, but I'll tell you, you can get them that at a lower cost that do that, where you run them off your tap.
ooh.
Mhm.
Oh no, a news thing just popped up and it kind of hit on what another creator was talking about the other night. Somebody done a comment here, and it reminded me what you've talked about, what I've talked about, what Bushcraft has talked about, a lot of the creators have talked about. I want y'all to think about something else also. There is a whole lot of pollution in the air, chemicals, so on and so on and so on. When it rains, where does it go? It goes straight to the ground. For people on well water, where do you think that water goes? What do you think those people are drinking? Anybody on well water needs to get hooked up to a filtration system, filter, and so forth. Mine right now, I am hooked up with 2 filters. I got one coming straight out of the well, and I also have another one up underneath the house. And I've kind of got 2 different type filters on them. The one coming straight out of the well, which is not no cheap one. It runs right at $50+ a piece. The ones that go up underneath the house, I get either a double or a triple pack. For a double pack, they're about $20 a pop. Okay. And it's for the simple fact is I've got enough pollution and poison going into my system now. If I can prevent others from going into it, then I'm going to do what I can to prevent it. So anyone who is on a well system, go get you some test kits. Have it tested at least 3, 6, 9, 4 times a year.
I would do it. I would do it more than that. For a well.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, if you're calling someone out, that's really expensive. If you're doing it at home, you could do it every week, every month if you wanted to.
I mean, I can't even think of a place to go get free test kits, but I know they out there.
Well, I can tell you one real cheap place to get some test kits. Get yourself a saltwater and yourself a freshwater test kit at your local pet store for a fish aquarium.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. But these don't make such a run-in, though, that like local fish keepers can't test their own stuff either. I mean, yeah, they have some really nice test kits. You can test for things like phosphorus, phosphates, nitrates, nitrites, ammonia, calcium. Did I say that one?
No, but you did now.
Yeah. You can check your pH, magnesium. Yeah, I did say phosphates. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can check for quite a bit. That's why I'm saying to get I would honestly get a fresh and saltwater kit, but also make sure it has like the calcium and stuff test kits too. And like Jeff said, iron and things like that. You can also go and get yourself a digital one. It's I'm having a brain cramp. It basically tests I can go grab it. It tests your solids per.
Million.
Yes, thank you.
Total dissolve.
Total dissolves, yeah, solid dissolve or dissolve solids.
TDS.
Sorry, TDS.
Oh.
That's what it is. TDS. Yeah.
Well, now, I seriously don't think we have this to worry about, but I saw in a movie where a whole household ended up getting sick. And they sent scientists in there trying to figure out why. And one of them come up with a brilliant idea. What they done was they got an ice tray out of the freezer and filled it up with tap water. And they waited till it froze. And then they put it in a glass of water. The ice cubes sunk all the way to the bottom of it. And it's what we call hard water, which I'm not going to say what it's used for. But that's what made a lot of them sick. Like, yeah, you've got to be certain locations. I mean, I guess what I'm saying, there is a lot of ways to test something. You've just got to get out there. You've got to research. That's the main key right there, research. And if you don't have knowledge, then I'm sorry, but you're screwed. You've got to have some type of knowledge to survive. And it's also like this right here. If a fish can swim in the water, in your tap water, then it's safe. You know. Okay, I run out of stuff to say.
I can't get to it because Christmas is happening up in this house.
Uh-oh.
And I'm not moving all that stuff to go get our thing, but we have a bunch of doohickeys, but they all look different. This one does the pH.
Okay.
Okay, so you put your water right here, and then you can look through it.
Oh, really?
Yep. And it comes with a user manual and one of those little cloths to clean it off. And it comes with a little dropper.
It's a refractometer.
A refractometer. Thank you for the words. I just call everything doohickeys and whatchamahoozits. You know, the thing whatchamahoozits, you know, the thing that does this and that. Good thing I have Bigfoot, because I'll tell you. So we have that. And then, again, make sure you get a fresh water and or it's just it's a master kit. And what you can do is you can also get like little test kits like this to do something specific. It's directions in here. And make sure you always follow up your directions. Always make sure you keep things like this. This one's a freshwater one. Like I said, I would get a salt water as well. It comes with tubes, and they are glass with a cap. And what you do is you put in your water, and then each one of these bottles are different. So if you're going to be doing this one for the nitrite, okay, this is a test solution. Some of the test solutions work with other test solutions. So like if you're going to do pH, you have to do both. And each one, like one may have you put in 3 drops in your vial. Another one may have you put 10 drops. in a vial.
Huh.
Some of them only 2.
Well,
Right.
now, a kit like that, how much would a kit like that run, ballpark estimate?
I mean, I don't know nowadays because everything's gone up so much. So I really couldn't say how much it would run us now.
Okay.
This one's just an API. This one's a freshwater kit. So this one will be cheaper. The reason I say to get a saltwater kit is because it works on fresh and saltwater, but it gives you the ability to test for more stuff like calcium and different other things in the water.
Okay.
Right.
Damon Austin, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. If not, forgive me. You posted last test. My well water is super clean. Very, very, very low numbers. Trust me, that is a rarity nowadays.
I think if your land is good, you should have good water. We had an issue one time where the nitrates got a little high, but other than that, I mean, if you have a good well and you have a good filter, you should be good. You know.
Well, now they
where you live too.
My well out here, what I water my garden with, the pump went out. I mean, it burned up.
Okay.
And I had him to come in and put another pump in. He wanted to know how deep the water was. I told him I have no idea. Now, check this out. From the top of the ground to the top of the water, let's see, 4, 8, 12, 20 feet. Okay. Now, from the top of the water to the bottom, and they pulled a tape measure on this and tested it. It was 105 inches. No. Yeah, it was 105 inches deep. That's pretty doggone good size river up underneath there. And I'm sitting here thinking the whole time, let me go get my fishing rod and see.
Oh, there's shallow wells, there's deep wells.
They are.
We have ours in a hole.
Wells.
We have ours in a hole where there's access. And the last time we needed to replace our pressure tank and what was it?
Oh.
Yeah, the pressure tank and the pump went. And when that happens, your whole tank fills up with water.
Yeah.
And it took the 3 of them with a hole to get it up out of the hole, first of all. It was a mess. It was a mess. And that's not cheap, but thank goodness I've got 3 awesome men in my life that did it themselves.
Well, now.
And that was years ago. Yeah.
We lived in a place quite a few years ago. We was buying it, okay? It was about 3 acres of land. And a week after we signed the papers and moved in, the well went dry. Plain simple. And I was working for the company that I bought it from. And I told him about it. He said, I'll have somebody out there to dig a well and everything else. And I said, that's fine. It ended up being 390 some feet deep. I was getting 2 gallons per minute. And we had something like slate rock. They had to drill through slate rock to get to the water. Well, every time the pump come on, it would hit the sides and knock stuff down in there. I went through a strainer a year. And the second one, I got to asking questions. There is a screen that you can put around the filter on the pipe to keep that stuff out. And when the pump cuts off, that stuff falls off of your the sediment falls off of your pump. Yes, you're right, Bushcraft. I meant feet.
I knew what you meant.
But and that kind of saved it a little bit. And have you ever noticed when you really need help, people say, "Well, if you ever need me, call me and I'll be there."
Until you
Well,
do.
I needed help pulling that pump out of the ground. Nobody showed up.
That's the way it goes sometimes, or often for some. Yeah. You ever need
Yeah.
anything, get a hold of me until you
Yeah.
do. Yeah. That's why I said until you need it.
Yeah. But
Hmm.
I'm standing there. I'm trying to pull that well by myself. I'm going to say 400 feet deep. Well, trust me, you pulling something up 400 feet deep is not light.
No.
So I sat there and I thought about it. What I done is I backed the truck up in the yard. I tied it to the end right there. I took 2 sawhorses, 2 metal pipes, run across it. It took me about 3 minutes to pull that pump up and out there.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would have taken you all day. Not really, but it would have taken you
Yeah.
a while with a wrecked back and neck and arms to boot.
Oh, I'd probably slept good for a week after that.
Well, I'm sure. I'm sure. We hook up the chains to our truck for all kinds of fun stuff. Some of it Bigfoot questions. Right? Yep.
But,
That's how we
I-
move
uh,
some logs.
well, truthfully, it went a little bit longer than I had expected it to.
Yeah.
And I really, truly hope that there was lessons learned here. Go get you a test kit. If you have to, go to, like Lake says, go to a place that sells aquarium stuff.
Mhm.
Buy the test kits.
Yeah.
I'm sure if the state or whoever charges you, I'm sure the test kits is going to come out cheaper.
You can also get it's public domain, so you can go to your public water department, and
That
if
was
there's
neat.
other people around you or other people who have a well around you, there's already a certain amount of information submitted, and
Yep.
as a resident taxpayer, you have access to all those records. Don't be weird and forceful going in, but just go in and curious and ask questions. And they may actually have some test kits that they can give you for free. They won't advertise that.
Hello, Ark Wildman. I am glad that you joined, and it is a pleasure seeing you in here. But like I said, there was a lot of good information that was shared out. But just keep your eyes, peeled. Do some checking. Do some your own investigating. Find out what's going on in your neighborhood with your water supply.
Right. And don't forget to store water, but don't forget the ways to filter your water in all ways, without power and with power.
Yep. And
Yeah.
there is,
That thumbs up for Mr. Winter.
there is also ways to purify your water, but tonight I'm not going to get into that right now. Is anybody going live tonight that you know of? Is 101 going live or?
I can check. I don't think.
That's what I was fixing to do is check to make sure. Whoa, wait a minute. Okay,
I don't think he's going live until
tomorrow night.
tomorrow, December 4th. Yep.
Yep. So,
Yep.
yep. All right. So everybody, y'all have a good evening. And I'm going to use a line that Bushcraft uses. God bless you
Yes. God bless.
and stay safe. Y'all have a good one. Ciao.
Well,